Yeah, thank you so much again once for joining. So quickly to give you an introduction. So I have two people with me who is going to be the speakers of this whole event. One is Sri Charan. The second person is Vinay. So Sri is an seasoned entrepreneur with a proven history of successfully establishing, multiple startups back in US. And he has more than 1.5 decades of experience in product development and solution services. And he recently did a strategic shift from his professional career to entrepreneurship from a long time. Prior to this transaction, he served as a director of global customer success at a very big life sciences company in his role. And he was instrumental in steering the global services and customer success team across the Midwest and Western regions of the US. And he has his key experience, or else, his key focus would be is more on high volume transactional data in the life sciences sector. And Vinay, on the other hand, has 17 years of experience in product development and expertise. He's the low-code, no-code guide for us. And he was also driving digital transformation projects on renowned companies like Siemens and Toyota. And one of the key things which he's an expert is in, he used to deal with and handle a lot of high-volume toll transactional data, the toll plaza, which happened in the United States. So he has fast coming data, transactional data, managing, analyzing, bringing insights, and using the cutting edge technologies like Kafka jet streams. And also he's, as I told you, he's a no-code low-code expert. So the canvas is yours. I know I'll also quickly set the agenda of what is happening today. Yeah, so we will quickly touch on 5 points to be precise. One, we will just give you a high-level generative AI. Like what exactly is generative AI, just to be the benefit of all the members who are joining. Second thing we will do is, how you can reimagine the way you interact with technology. And the third point we'll touch is on the data insights through generative AI. And we also will speak more about AI-powered chat solutions. This will also have certain use cases which we will be covering, and we will show you a live demo, which will be, fantastic to look at. And there will be an interactive Q&A sessions at the end where you can, we will open up and you can speak up. Or else in the meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hands. Over to you, Vinay.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your time. All right, let's jump into the details. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, so let's talk about what is generative AI. So generative AI is the type of AI technology that can produce high quality content, specifically text, images, and audio. One of the best known Gen AI system, as we all know, is OpenAI's ChatGPT. And currently, the generative AI is being used across various industries and fields due to its ability to create new, realistic content and also automate tasks. So I'm going to give you few areas where people are actively employing generative AI. The content creation and marketing, where generative models are being used to create engaging and relevant content for blogs, articles, and social media. And even in the healthcare, we are using the generative models to assist drug discovery and finance. So here, generative models are being used in financial markets to analyze the data and generate trading strategies as well. And even we are using in the education system to create personalized learning materials. And even the cybersecurity, generative models are used to simulate cyber attacks, like helping organizations strengthen their cybersecurity measures. So I've been part of this and I have seen this. We are completely, one of the enterprise was able to replace the red team completely. Red team is the team who is doing this manually, but it was replaced with the generative models in one of the enterprises recently. And the next topic I'm going to talk about is insights from the data. So this is important here. In today's fast-paced business world, data is more than just numbers and charts. It's how do I say? It's a lifeblood of decision making and growth. 58% of companies that use the data to make decisions are more likely to exceed their revenue targets. And despite the fact that we have the abundance of the data available, still 41% of the business leaders say that they can't understand their data because it's very complex, and also how do I say, it's really hard to access it. Even I face the same challenge as part of my digital transformation, where they have the very valuable information and it's really, really hard to get access. And the quills here, we are trying to solve this problem by allow the organizations to integrate the data sources easily and making data to be accessible wherever you want, and also allow the users to get insights and turn the insights to visuals. So we are going to show the demo how it's going to work, but on a high level, it allows the users of all the skill levels, no technical, I mean, they don't need to know the SQLs or anything. So that's why in all the skill levels can interact with the data through text-based questions and commands called prompts. It's like as simple as asking the quills, what are the top 5 selling products in the previous quarter? Based on your company data, it provides the information, and you can even generate the charts and share it. And as per and during the demo, we will show additional features as well. Next slide. All right, here we are talking about the quills. Um, so the image, what we are saying here is what YouTube did for video streaming and what Amazon did for e-commerce, Google did for search. So the quills is here for data analysis and data insights. And the journey, so here is the journey. So we were able to get the MSCs and from big companies like Cognizant, Pepsi, and also we have seen a lot of good traction in Product Hunt and AWS startup. We have seen 200 plus signups in just 3 days of launch. Next slide. So yeah, so this picture is talking about the challenges which are going to be addressed by quills. So like software was not flexible enough, and
Maybe
software.
I'll take it here, Vinay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is not just a mere what we call it as a market research or anything. So while before we started Quills, like we are uh, running certain things on Genia, and we are excited about we need to really find something really big on what we can impact on. So we started looking an interesting market called as business insights tool, or else anything which we have on the market right now. But one of the things which we observed very clearly, working with multiple things, why? Because we all come from multidisciplinary industries and horizontals and verticals. So when we came together, we thought one of the interesting perspective is, you will be surprised to know this fact. United States all alone is losing close to $100 billion per year due to the data literacy problem, which means if I go to a marketing person, people like me who doesn't understand much about the database and everything, but who are in very much on the key at a junction where we need to take decisions basing on the insight, saying that okay, what campaign is working, what last touch campaigns are working. Business owners, like what location is fetching us more stores, or else what location is getting us more traffic, and what are the metrics which is not working for us. So if I wanted to get insights in a very particular way, I will not be able to interact with the existing databases, which can be NoSQL, MySQL, GraphDB, you name it. There are a lot of technology things happening. So, but as you know, this is a unique challenge for every company. There are people who doesn't understand. They might be enthusiastic about data, and they are great at Excels and doing advanced Excel formulas and everything. But the problem comes back when we actually start trying to consider everything, like what is the reason why there is a impact. For example, something impacted. What is the root cause? Is it something to do with the technology? Is it your systems down? Is it your payment integration is not working? So we don't have a clue of what is happening. To be honest, if I'm a technology person, I would be scared out to give my database access to anyone in the company, given that it's highly volatile and there is a lot of things. And one small thing changes, a lot of things have a ripple effect or a network effect on this. So then we started looking at, okay, why cannot we make it simple as this? Like you actually interact with your data with the layer, and why not you start looking at? So that's how the whole process of Quills.ai started, right? Literally, the meaning is like you write stuff with a very basic thing like the ink. You fill in, and you start writing it. Then we looked at what is the existing major problems in the market. So we came across all these problems, which are very, very problematic. For example, this is not just the survey, which is from the Trust Radius. We actually reached out to a lot of people on a personal level, scaling not just people on the startup and SMEs, heavily funded, bootstrapped, people who are enterprises, Fortune 100 companies, multiple verticals. We did a huge, what we call it as customer survey before we actually come to a conclusion. So certain things which resonated with this market research is software is not flexible enough, right? You always have something like, okay, you added all these sources. If you wanted to scale more, you add more pricing, and probably we will not be able to support these things. These existing things is still in progress. So most of the existing softwares has this problem. Softwares are very difficult to use. Like, you need to have a technology impact, or else you should be technical in nature to actually use most of the softwares available. You should be an SQL expert, or to trigger a query or something. And all the tools are too expensive. For example, I'll also come back to the pricing point of fields and how we are also looking at it. If you take any tool, it's kind of a statement which I would be really proud to make. Take any tool in the existing market, and if you come up and say, okay, this tool charges you X percentage, and I can say that we are 10%, like exactly 10 to 15% of what they are actually asking for. That's how affordable our tool is. And product could not handle the data volumes. Now, rather than me speaking about words, there is an action coming up in the demo session, which you would be surprised to look at it. But yeah, we are also happy in case if you have any data sets you wanted us to kind of play with, and or else drop in chat, and probably not now, given there is a lot of people looking at this, but we will be definitely get back to you with a wonderful recorded demo, or else we can actually bring you a demo and we can get things for you. Unable to analyze data from some systems. For example, there are a lot of legacy systems most of the people work with. Some of them would be Gen Z, some of them are not. There are people still work in Excels and everything. But if you wanted to do a correlation between multiple things, it's not pretty possible with most of the tools available in the market. Lack of interest from business units, and I think I'm a victim here, where I tend to use a database, and I hardly understand most of the things, metrics on how we have to kind of look at it, and it makes it extremely tough for us to build the business dashboards. Could be a marketing dashboard, or else if a venture capital firm is trying to understand, do a market research, and if we really wanted to invest in west or the east coast of United States, and what looks promising. So that data is publicly available everywhere. But if you wanted to actually bring 3 points or 4 points within a questions, rather than running a lot of queries or scripts, it's tough. And poor data quality. There is a huge data quality issues happening. Why? Because we don't have a single source of truth. I have one Excel which might not be updated, but the actual database has everything in it. So we are working in silos. Today, if I'm looking at a real-time data, and if I'm going to present something, and if I'm 1 hour delayed, I'm potentially missing a lot of data points, which is not making sense now. Why? Because it's like pretty real time is what we are looking for. Now, how are we trying to impact all these things? Okay. First thing, our software is really flexible, which again, you will be able to see a lot of things in the demo. Our software is very easy to use. It's a a browser-based tool, and it's just a few clicks. You don't have to do much after it. And too expensive. As I told you, we are just 10%, 10 to 15% of what the existing players have. Product could not handle data volumes. Again, the demo should answer it a lot. Unable to get analyzed data from some systems. We are pretty much there. We have a lot of integrations in place, which Shri is going to speak shortly. Lack of interest from the business users. We will make it easy. Why? Because we have one unique feature called as chatbot, which again, Shri will cover in the next slides, coming up slides. So these are the certain things which we are impacting. And in future, we are definitely looking at, there are certain things untangible like company politics and everything, which we could not do, unfortunately. But yeah, everything which is possible in this given umbrella, we are trying to impact. Now, Shri, probably if you wanted to take it, or else maybe I can just give a sneak peek and Shri can take it from here on. So on the left-hand side, you will be able to find all of the well-known data sources or databases, which I can speak about. And when you go through fields, you have 3 different things which are coming up. Intelligent search. Why? Because you are actually interacting with your voice. I mean, with your language. to the system, to the database. You don't have to be an expert, technology expert, or a SQL expert, or no SQL expert to actually interact with your database. Actionable insights. Why? Because you just have to ask a question saying that, how many people actually attended this webinar, or else, how many people attended the event, uh, considering it as a very big thing. So you will be able to see, okay, these people registered, these people joined, this is the count. And if you wanted to deep dive, it is as simple as 2, 3 clicks, not more than that. Interactive stories, you can build interactive stories with this. Why? Because we are very real time. I mean, we are near real time is what we claim. And we also have certain solid proofs why we claim to be near real time. And one more thing which is also important is, you got the data, now what next? So ideally you are working in a collaboration zone. So how can you collaborate? So we, on today's state, we were able to interact with your Slack channels, which you can directly add a Slack bot to it, and you will be able to pull all the insights to your Slack channel. Same with Microsoft Teams. Shri, you can throw some light on this. I
Sure. Sure. Thanks, Mac, and Vinay. So let me share my screen. Give me one sec. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. I hold on one second. I just have the deck. I'm sorry.
You just showed the deck, or else
Yeah.
I can share it.
Can you share the deck, please?
I can. There you go.
Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So as Mac and Vinay mentioned, so one of the key things that we can definitely solve with generative AI is how we interact with data, right? So with the current trend of Chat GPT, asking questions in natural language, getting answers. So we wanted to translate what Chat GPT does to have a discussion or a conversation with database, like how you talk to a normal person, right, and get the insights. So those are the features, that's the starting point of what we wanted to achieve. And some of the key features that we have to assist in our journey for the vision that we have to say, like, quills should become the leader for the data insights, right? So you can just, one of the key items that we focused on is chat with any data source, right? You just connect your database, whether it's Postgre, Oracle, MySQL, Excel, CSV, MongoDB, it doesn't matter. You just connect it and then start chatting with it, saying like, hey, what are my sales for this product in this quarter? Which is the, let's say, if you're talking to a life science, if you're coming from a life sciences background, who's the wholesaler for which, we have to pay maximum rebates in this quarter, right? So what's the, rate of increase, percentage of increase in the revenue over the last 3 quarters, right? Anything, any metric that you want to get to, or any particular detail, right? For a sports analyst, if you want to get to say like, hey, which particular NFL team won max, Super Bowls, right? So any of this, data insights, you should be able to talk to it and get the data, get the details, right? And then, the integrations, one of the key things that you always have with the BI tools, is, you have to transform the data, you have to have a process to transform the data in a certain way. And before you can access or build dashboards on top of it. So we wanted to completely eliminate or reduce that process as much as possible during this journey, so that, you can directly talk to the database and get the real-time insights, right? And one of the key challenges that we have seen in the industry is, how a reporting is built. So, approximately on an average, if a business user or a leader, or a manager wants to take build a dashboard or a report, it typically takes about 6.1 weeks on average, to get the report that they're looking for, right? So instead, if this particular solution, or with generative AI and advancement in technology, we will be able to get the insight near real time. You just connect to the data source. Don't worry about building or changing any of the reports. Get the data as right away. Right. So one of the key other feature is chatbot, right? So essentially you connect the data, you create a chatbot on top of the data source, and then use the chatbot outside of the application, right? So you have a legacy application, you have any other, BI solution or whatever, your internal homegrown application, right? We'll just give a JavaScript link, you just include that JavaScript and we'll chat with the data source on that application, right? You don't have to come to the dashboard and, uh, chat here. So, and then we have integrations, with Slack, we're working on integration with Teams. So, you don't have to log into the dashboard again. You basically add all the business users into your Slack channel, or, IT users into your Slack channel, and add our bot, and, you'll be able to ask questions and get the insights. So with that, let me just go to the next slide, where I just wanted to focus on the use cases, typical use cases in few of the scenarios. I mean, we're talking about data here, so it's like across verticals, across domains. The problems are similar. What happens with my data? What essentially, it's the what that translates to how, and sorry, why, and then what, how we need to solve the problem, right? So I think what we're tackling here is the what and why. So that and then the insights on what's happening, so you can basically um, you know, have a better data to look at to make a decision on how we need to solve a particular problem, right? So this is a use case with an e-commerce business side, and typical questions that they have. Earlier they need to use the reports, or build a dashboard and to get the data insights, or depend on IT team to get the data insights. Now they can just go to the application, talk to it and get the data. So next slide, please. Same is the case, right? Across the industries, across verticals, it's an investment analyst, what is it that they're typically looking at? Sports analysts, what is it that they're typically looking at? Uh, you know, let's say you have the data related, you want to get a data related to Tesla. These are some of the questions that we post here. So based on the data sets that we have compiled and used. So typically, whether you're talking about individual stock or performance of a stock on across mutual funds and all that sectors, you'll be able to get the data and insights. Next slide, please. Right. So one of the key benefits, right, with this approach, right, unified data access, right? You can collect multiple data sources into, a single. You can pull in multiple data sources into a single place without a lot of transformations and all, and you'll be able to talk to them and get the insights, right there, then and there. And instant data validation, what we mean by that is, you get the data, right? You ask a question, you get the data, right? Now you need the source of truth as well. What is that, where the data is coming from. So we provide a way for you to actually look at the data that corresponds to the solution that, or the answer that we are providing. So that's the instant data validation, and ad hoc data analysis. So this is something that you should be able to get to. And then auto generate SQL. So this is something that is very, very useful for IT folks. If they want to have a base to say, like, what, this is my question, what's the base query that I can build report on? You'll be able to do that. Self-sufficiency is something that we make non-technical users as self-reliant without much of IT team. So next slide, please. I just want to move to the demo side of things. So maybe Mac here I'll share.
Sure.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is how a typical dashboard looks like, right? At least for Quills. So we have various data sources, restaurant life sciences, IPL cricket, mutual funds data set, e-commerce DB, and actors, a movie data set from 2016, and we have files as well. So these are all the database connections, Postgres, MySQL, etc., etc., and then the files which are some files that they need, you can analyze the data on. So I'll just run through a few examples to say, like, how a structure typically looks like, so you have an idea. So for a restaurant, right, like, you can just say water available, and the best part is you don't have to worry about typos. So yeah, so it automatically recognizes the intent, and we get the data, and then you can actually see the data as well in the tabular format. Same thing, I'll think I'll go to a life sciences data database. Right. So you'll get the data, you'll get the details, and let's say you're from a pharma background, and you want to know the side effects of a certain medicine. Yeah. Or you're from a logistic provider, right? Yep. So there you go. So, as soon as you ask a questions, it basically goes, looks at your data, these are CSV files, Excels, Postgres, MySQL, Oracle, Snowflake, Mongo, these are all the data sources that we're talking about. So there's no transformation involved, you directly connect, talk to the databases and get the details that you're looking for. You have a chatbot, you can integrate the data source with a chatbot, which you can customize. This chatbot can be integrated. All we do is we give a JavaScript link and you can place it across your applications, and you'll be able to chat uh, and get the responses instantaneously. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think in a gist, what we are enabling the users is to get the answers wherever they are, whichever application they are into, and whichever data source that they want to connect with, right? So that is something, and generative AI with the advancements of latest features, latest um, innovations that are coming into place. We are moving towards solving some of the biggest problems in the industry with the data. Yeah. So yeah, that's all from my side, Matt.
That's great. So I think we can quickly move back to the questions. I see one question which came up already. So Ashishwani is asking an interesting question. He wants to kind of understand. I'm curious to understand how Quills.ai be helpful for a university. What key areas can be used and what problems will it address other than chatbot? So Ashishwani, maybe I'll just take this question on a quick level. And as you know, this is kind of a really vague question. Why? Because when we speak about university, there are multiple functions of it, like, starting the finances, logistics, teaching staff, a lot of projects involved and everything, right? So as you know, it could be a lot of permutations and combinations, but if you can be more clear, and if you want, I can, quickly open you to speak, like you can actually unmute yourself and speak if you want me to do it. Do let me know. I can actually unmute you and you can ask the question in a briefer manner, if that works. Just raise your hand, Shishwani, in case if you're interested in speaking, so I can do that. Yeah, I see Shishwani raising hand. Let me. Cool. Now you can speak, Ashishwani. You can unmute yourself and you can speak.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. A very interesting product. So as I was seeing, it is addressing a lot of, it is making the things very easy because it is directly connecting to the database. And if anything is required, you just ask the question and that is what, it makes it easier to get the insights from the data perspective. That is what I understood um, on how the generative AI and how the quills.ai. Am I on the right am I on the right perspective?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I just want to understand, as an higher educational institution, suppose if because I work in I work in a university, I work as executive director for IT department, and I want to understand how the generative AI concept will be helpful for a university. So what areas can it address, or how can I use it?
Um, so yeah, let me, pitch in here. So there are multiple use cases, right? I think one of the key use cases is the learning, the research activity that, that's helpful, which, a lot of, where I see is a lot of students or, researchers are actually looking at, what data that, what insights ChatGPT is giving on top of for their request, right? For their research and what's available out there. So that's number one. Number two, with generative AI, you can build your own in-house chat GPT, right? So all of your university-related documents, solutions can be clubbed together, and you don't have to rely on external solutions like ChatGPT to do that, right? So you can build a similar solution on your data set. You can train the models on your data set. Let's say you have a university uh, learning material, right? Learning course or a course structure. All your course structure can be trained to a model, and then your students can actually ask questions to it related to your subject, their area of interest, and course or curriculum in a particular quarter. So you can customize the models for your courses. So I think that will be a great value add for the students, and also a wonderful experience for them, so that where they feel as if they're talking to a chat GPT or a natural person, but they're actually talking about their course or their curriculum, right? That's number one. And then the IT team, what's the help desk, the support system, or the administrative team of the university, instead of directly building reports or dashboards, they can use the solution like ours to actually get the details about the students, what's going on. Or you can actually build a solution for students to say, like, when is the next course, or when is the next course schedule, when is the next exam, related to the curriculum or university aspects. I mean, we can identify more use cases. I'm just giving some information based on what I typically see.
Yeah. To add to that, and you can create a customized, like personalized learning materials. And also we have a product that we developed, like all the textbooks come in the PDF, right? So you can chat with the PDF too. Like you can ask for it, can you summarize? And you have a question specific to, like, you don't have to scroll it all the way down. You just ask the question and it will get you the answer. So that will speed up the learning as well. So that's a few items I would like to add.
Thanks. So Ashwini, I hope that helps. So Vinay, interestingly, you answered part of the next question. Rohit has a great question. Does Quill save chat history? What is the pricing model? Will it work on documents or just databases? So I believe you answered the last question. Maybe you
Right.
can
Yeah.
take that up.
Sure. Yeah, the quill saves the chat history. Everything is encrypted, so we have an option to show the chat history or hide the chat history. Uh, you know, uh, what's the next question again? I'm sorry.
What is the pricing model?
The pricing model, I think we can have a separate discussion on that, based on the use case and number of users and, licensing that you're looking for. We can delve into it further.
But just to also add what Shri mentioned, so we also have a community version, which we are opening up. So you're free to use it for, a month for now. I mean, if you need an extension, we will always be happy to speak and take it forward. If anyone needs a community version to look at it, again, the community version will be slightly, will not be giving you the full potential to explore the solution, but we'll be happy to do a customized demo for you. But the community version, if you need to look at it, if you wanted to say, no, I wanted to do a DIY stuff, and if you are interested in that, please reach out to marketing@quills.ai, the term marketing@quills.ai, the domain name, with your email ID. So we will be able to enable your community version. That's something which we can do. Okay. Is the solution of capable of being deployed on premise? I'm not going to ask Vinay and Shri, but I'm going to answer this and say yes. Yes. So most of the system integrators we are working with, they prefer to have it deployed on their premises, and yeah, we do that. but it also gives a lenience, like if someone wants to kind of, keep it on our ecosystem, which is on our cloud, we will also do that. So that's how it is managed right now. But most of the system integrators we are working, as there are multiple clients, multiple industries, and multiple use cases, they tend to have it on their prem, and we do it.
So yeah, I mean, in short, we have a hosted solution where we manage. We also have a solution where we deploy it on your cloud or on-prem. So
That's amazing. Any more questions? I think that's all. Yeah, I think that's all. So I'll just give a minute for any one of you to, ask a question if you have, or else we are pretty much accessible to every one of you. So we are at marketing at pills.ai. Write to us, if you wanted to give us a feedback, we are open to it. We are pretty much new to the market, despite having this huge success. We are pretty new to the market, and we are actually doing multiple use cases, and happy to speak with you on any use case you have. All you have to bring us is a data set as, and give us some time to feed it to the system. So probably we can give you a customized demo specifically for you. If you need a community version, as I mentioned, feel free to write it back to us. We will be able to also give you that access. And yeah, that's all for now. So if there is nothing, I think we can wrap up, and I can give you plenty of time back to your calendars. Thanks everyone for joining. And I hope this is helpful. And yeah, we are all ears for your feedback or any suggestions. Thank you so much for being wonderful audience. Thanks, Shri and Vinay. Yeah, we look forward to serving you in a better position like this. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.